everything in this world, the animals, the water, the ground that we walk on, I would assume then that he could stop a hurricane from blowing in and killing an innocent family. You know? Sorry.
Can I say something for Cam? Brief, just quickly, can I say something? Yes. So, on the topic of suffering, um, even like a toddler suffers when they fall over, but they get back up. Do you know what I mean? Like, it is difficult, the nature of growth and being human. There is suffering. Like, you look outside the window, you will see someone planted a tree, maybe years ago, but because of things like pollution or environmental degradation caused by human factors or, other things like neglect, it begins to wither and die. Maybe a branch falls off, maybe it falls on to a street where cars are driving and causes an accident. And that scenario could have been avoided. God didn't cause that.
Um, yes, in that specific example, I would agree that he didn't. But there's many examples where I feel it does seem like he would cause it.
Well, how do you know that?
Well, I would. So if God didn't create cancer, then who did?
So it's just because it's something that happens in the human body doesn't mean that that occurrence is down to God. Because a lot of sicknesses happen because of environmental conditions, because of exposure to toxins, because of lifestyle choices. A lot of illnesses are not God's fault.
But
So
who created the environment, though?
And it actually, I feel like people don't understand and they just automatically assume that God is to blame for everything. And that's not the case.
Wait, can I respond to that?
Yeah.
Yeah, so like I don't think the point here is saying, well, why does suffering exist at all? It's like it's saying what would we expect if God was all loving and all powerful, and the scale and the magnitude of suffering that we observe simply cannot be explained by just free will. Because in order to say that, then you have to say, well, free will overrides the insane amount of both artificial and natural suffering, and that simply, like, if you want to say that, then fine, but that isn't compatible with what we would define as morality.
So please summarize what you've just said because you mentioned natural and artificial suffering, acknowledging the fact that some suffering is potentially self-induced or created, whether intentionally or unintentionally, but that nonetheless and irregardless of someone's faith walk or relationship with God, that God is obligated to always intervene.
Yeah, because he's all loving.
Now,
But that's
that
just like a
is
parent. Like if your parent loves you, and so sometimes they have to punish you for actions that you've taken, right? There's a consequence for every action, every choice that you take.
well,
Yeah, if I
So
was a
that's
parent and
weird.
if I had two toddlers and they were like beating each other to unalivement, I wouldn't be like, oh well, I'll just let that happen because I'm so loving, because I'm giving them the free will to do that. Yeah, they're toddlers. Of course I can stop it.
Well,
Well, I'm an atheist, so
well, that's
well, that,
I'm not gonna lie, I've
brother.
been a Christian for some time, and even for me, it's difficult to fully know God because the requirement that God has for you, sometimes in some cases, to know Him, it requires, almost requires a level of suffering to first even know Him, because you have to partake in the suffering of His Son through Christ.
well, that's the main reason why I'm asking because I, assume that. Well, I guess not assume. Well, I'm hoping that one of you would claim to know God, and if you do, I really just would like an explanation to why He allows this. Because yes, there are things like the tree example. I understand, but there are some things that are genuinely not in control of us, and it could only be through the creation of God. He would allow cancer to exist, and cancer
Okay,
did
but all
can.
right, I hear what you're saying. Like, okay, so look at the hurricanes. Let me let you finish.
Those only we only have the ability to heal people because of our free will. God didn't help us make those cures because, like you said, like if I'm talking about someone, well, I am getting to it. What? Well, I think you're being a little inconsistent because, like you said, if someone goes to unalive someone, like you said, well, yeah, I'm trying to get to. Well, just like you said, what are you talking? Wait, okay, can I? I just really want a chance because the reason I don't want to be disrespectful at all. By the way, that's not what I'm trying to do. I know, and that's what I'm. I know. That's what I'm explaining. So that's where I think it's a little inconsistent because, like you said, if someone goes to unalive someone, that's the person's free will. God is not responsible for that. Just like if a person creates and cures and helps a person, that was not God. That was free will that did that. So God did not cure us of disease. We are curing ourselves. So that's why He wasn't responsible for helping. But He did create the cancer or diseases that. Wait,
Can I
what?
say something? What you're saying is you need to.
I told you I wasn't trying to be respectful, and I'm trying to have a good conversation.
And it reads, "But I certify you, brethren, that the gospel which was preached of me is not after man. For I neither received it of man, neither was I taught it, but by the revelation of Jesus Christ."
Well, I'm confused now because I'm trying to ask you questions and get the word from you, but now I can't ask you questions. Okay, well then, let me turn around on you. Then how can
Brother Thick, can I, God bless you, can
okay?
I
So
respond real quick?
if God is responsible for doctors curing patients, why is God not responsible for a person unaliving another person? I'm asking the guy that knows God. You just said I don't know him, so I wouldn't know. That's why I'm asking you. Can you answer my question? Because I want to know from someone who knows God. Oh, okay. No, I got it. I'm open to it. I'm sorry. I didn't know that you were doing that. Okay, wait, could you tell me what it is so I could read it with you?
I have a scripture too. Philippians 2:12 reads, "Wherefore, my beloved, as ye have always obeyed, not as in my presence only, but now much more in my absence, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling."
I am seeking an answer. I don't I look, I really don't appreciate you
I,
telling me what I came here to do. Like I'm not trying to be disrespectful and I told you that multiple times. I'm not trying to be disingenuous either. Okay, well, look, I apologize if I came off disingenuous. So can I just start from square one? I'm gonna ask my question and then you either give me your answer or just a verse. I asked I asked the question, you didn't answer it, but you asked me one instead. I not saying he is the problem for all suffering, and that's why I said that lady's I'm sorry, I don't know your name. But like the tree example is a good example. I get that. And there is suffering in life, but there are things that just weren't created by humans. And can only be explained by that's I'm in the middle of doing it. There are things that can't have been created by humans and would of course have been created by God. They would have been created by him. And some of those things that were created have caused harm to millions. Why do I think he's the cause of harm? Because God has created things that are have been the cause of harm and suffering to people. That's why I think that he has been the cause of harm before. He created the stuff, but he didn't cure us.
Brother Thick, can I just quickly respond to him? Um, oh, he dropped. Um, I wanted to show him Genesis 3, 1 to to 6 or 7 or 6, yes.